I don't want to set the world on fire.
Welcome, everyone, to the next episode of The Folly of Man. My name is Chris, and with me here today,
Robert.
And today we're coming at you not live.
No, it's not live. It's always pre-recorded.
Yeah.
We should have like a little this event is not live, a little pre-recorded tagline going across the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
We're
like that.
5 seconds behind because of, broadcasting regulations.
So this is The Folly of Man. Chris is a Brony, and I'm not. And in this show, this series, this portmanteau, as we should say, we review typically My Little Pony and Fallout. But this series is different because the author of Fallout Equestria wrote a book called Prey that combines My Little Pony and the video game Prey. We on board? We are in chapter 11. So if you have not read the story, check the link below and go read it. I mean, again, this could just be your Cliff Notes version of reading this.
Do it.
This story was also written by Kkat, I should clarify. And chapter 11. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we last left off Acellus and Yona having captured the element of pride. Yep. Which is fitting. Guys, it's June. It's Pride Month.
Yeah.
It is fitting. Yak pride. You should be free to be whatever kind of yak you want to be.
Just go out there and yakety sax.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Acellus is basically, in the LGBTQIA, C, for changeling,
Changeling.
she's basically the bi character, right?
I wonder what sexuality would be for a changeling.
I mean, I've always imagined. I mean, she can turn into anything, so it just seems like her sexuality is like water flowing down the river.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, what's the identity of the individual changeling? Because in classical insect hives, they will control, or at least try to control outside of nature, the gender of the spawn.
Right. Well, and changelings in this story have been presented as male. Not male facing, male seeming, male projecting, male
Passing?
characters. Yeah, I don't like the term passing in this regard. But you've got characters that seem inherently male, they're referred to as he, and then you have characters who are female, they're referred to
I think
as
projecting
her.
would work. Male projecting and female projecting.
Yeah. So it is an interesting question.
I mean, I feel like we're going to have to ask Lauren Faust how sex with changeling works, and I don't think she's going to answer.
I mean, just pick your poison, really, whatever you're into. And for
I
a
mean,
penny, in for a pound, am I right?
I mean, the last 7 are what got me the restraining order. So.
Listen, I didn't know she was underage. She transformed into a full-bodied changeling.
Wait, how does this? Okay, we're getting way too deep in the reads
so,
there.
Yona and Acellus are coming back from their encounter with Chrysalis, right? Chrysalis? That's the queen in the story, right? Elytra. Sorry. Chrysalis was the old queen. Acellus is queen, right? Queen Elytra. Their encounter with Queen Elytra, which was, some scary shit, right?
Absolutely.
And Yona's having this whole pity party. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm the worst friend ever. Because, she's in withdrawal from her intense sense of pride from being bonded with the element. And Acellus is like, no, you're beautiful. This is your authentic truth. This is just who you need to be. It's okay. You're fine. You're a piece of shit.
Counselor Acellus.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit, but we need to go. And I'm going to try and make you feel shittier because I need you to get you to fucking move because we need to get out here. They're going to try and eat us. They're going to, they're going to take you back.
Yeah.
What would Sandbar think?
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. And then there's a bunch of pity party stuff from Acellus, like, I feel so bad about manipulating the people around me. And then there's more stuff about, like, what is reality? Am I? Anyway, so they get away a little bit. They're moving on. They come across a dead drone that has, like, 3 empty of those silver needles around it. So it had, like, destroyed its eye and, like, husked out its body.
Yeah.
It was gruesome. But the funny thing is, like, it made me think, I was like, haven't we come across, like, have any of these characters died yet? And I really had to think. Like, I couldn't think of specific characters.
The fire one, I guess, kind of died.
Yeah.
They don't know, well, because it was a fire.
Right.
It ran out. And that's the other one.
And that's just the thing. So it's like, I was like, it was a realization of, oh yeah, I guess this is kind of a dead body.
What about the stone one?
Again, like I said, but maybe it's just not, still it hit them like, oh, this is a dead body. Ah.
And they're pseudo children, kind of like late teens.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo-esque, we'll say.
Yeah. So
So
they're getting back to the throne room where they know that they're safe. At least they think or believe that they're going to be safe in there. That's what Luna has told them. And Ocellus begins to eavesdrop. She hears Gallus and Smolder talking, and they're working on something. They're opening something or, investigating something. And basically they're talking about, like, it's interesting. Have you seen Luna? And then, Gallus is like, oh yeah, I saw Luna. Yeah, she exists. And she's like, okay. Smolder's like, okay, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that, you've seen her too.
Yeah.
So it's not just in Ocellus' head.
Of course.
But then it's like, but have you noticed that Luna doesn't talk to us? She only talks to Ocellus. She must not trust us.
At which point, Ocellus starts wondering, is Luna trustworthy at all?
Well, and does Luna trust me?
Yeah.
Like, does Luna think I am who I am?
Mm-hmm. Because Luna, she can verify Luna's because of Luna's love, the love that Luna gives, especially because there's no changeling here.
Right.
It's going to give love in any capacity. So
right. Well, and again, that's just what we're being told, that she can verify that her friends are who her friends are because.
But then who is
love.
she?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
And now everyone's going to start questioning what she's been questioning herself since the beginning of the story.
This is something I hinted at early on when we were talking about this story. I was like, this is just going to break down into what the fuck is reality.
Well, it's not going to be so meta. It's not going to be.
I'm not sighing at Kkat. I'm not. It's just like, it's just that's where it's going to go. It's always becomes this question. Like, you know what? I immediately got feelings of reading this chapter as it continued to be like, oh my God, layers of what is reality.
Mm-hmm.
American Psycho. Have you ever seen or read Bret Easton Ellis's book, American Psycho?
I've never read the story. I have watched the film when I was a lot younger, so I don't remember much.
There's a big twist at the end of that story, kind of similar to what we've referenced here. Y'all have had 20 years to go see this thing, right? So, spoiler warning.
Fingers in ears, kids.
Okay. Pause it, leave it, go read a summary. Okay. None of it happened, right? He believes he's this terrible serial killer, but one of the people he believes he killed heinously is not dead.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, who the fuck did I kill, right?
Or did I hit?
And everyone around him reveals to him that this character that we've seen is not him at all. He's meek. People don't like him. He's not respected. He's like, nobody believes that he could do any of these things. Like, he literally goes to the police and it's like, I'm a terrible man. I've done these terrible things. And like, the people around him are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So-and-so is alive. There's no way you killed them. I just had lunch with him an hour ago, right? Or I was talking to him on the phone or something like that. And so, anyways, that's what came to mind. If you're looking for a good read, like American Psycho, Bret Easton Ellis, I highly recommend it.
And the best part about that, which I'm sure a lot of people actually do know about it, is the fact that Christian Bale's stepmother actually went on a big march against the book being released because she said it was violence against women.
Violence against women, yeah.
And which is interesting because, he played the role, but she married his father after he was in the role, if I recall correctly.
Is that right?
I believe so.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it's not his mom, it's his stepmom.
So that's kind of what brought back to here. And obviously Ocellus is not like a cold-blooded psychotic murderer, but from the very beginning, what Kkat has established for us in this story is that we can't trust what we're seeing through the eyes of the protagonist.
Or we can't trust anything because we are establishing it as in relation to changelings, which is an ever-changing form.
Right, but from the very first chapter, doubt is introduced to us as the reader about our protagonist.
From the foil of her perspective.
Yes, well, but she doubts herself, right? It's from her perspective. So, if she's not who she is or doesn't understand the things around her, if it's a mass, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend to know because there's lots of different things that it could be. And I'm totally interested to see where it goes. But I just know that there's going to be twists and turns in it. Everything's been set up to be, there's going to be a moment where everything that we've been so sure of, well, it's none of these things. There was
a theory a while back, and I have absolutely stopped watching Rick and Morty, so I don't know if they ever actually played this out in the show. But there's a thing that was pointed out very early on in the show where Rick says, there are only but so many timelines we can keep doing this in.
Yeah.
Because there are only but a certain finite amount, and people were like, well, if the multiverse is technically infinite, which it is infinite, then
There's technically an infinite version of those things.
so why isn't there's only a finite amount? And people started theorizing that there were only a finite amount of universes that he could tell apart, that he would know which universe he was in.
Yeah.
The horrifying reality that you aren't in the universe you need to be in.
Well, yeah, and that's where that whole show and series gets very complicated. Is that none of the versions of them are in the correct world that they belong in the correct reality. I much prefer Futurama's ideas of parallel and multi-universe theory, particularly the one when they go to when they go to the end of the universe. And he's like, "Wow, is it an infinite series of parallel universes?" And they're like, "Nope, just the two."
Yeah.
They're literally standing at the edge of the universe and waving at their counterparts at the other edge of the parallel universe. Like, the implication of a parallel universe is that it's a duality, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're side by side. And so, yeah, it's just kind of brilliant that it's like, nope, just the two.
Of course, then they have the boxes, which throws that into a mention of that.
That's much later. But yeah, they're looking across the way and they're just all wearing cowboy hats,
Mhm.
right? So it's like basically exactly the same, but they're just wearing hats. But you're right. The Farnsworth Parabox, which is the episode that you're referring to, where they contain a different universe of their Earth in a box.
Make new friends and keep the old.
One is silver, the other is gold. It's very true.
Mhm.
It's very true. Never has it been more true than now.
Okay.
Right in this moment.
In relation to this story.
We are practicing presence, my friend. Be present.
Yeah, I mean, there is something to be said about the establishment and the follow-up of friends and what friendship means in the story.
Yesterday's history. Tomorrow's a mystery. But today's a gift, and that's why we call it the present. You're welcome.
Now tell me about the infinite elephants.
No. It's turtles. It's turtles the whole way down, buddy boy.
Anyway.
I love that image. I love that stupid ass story that it's just like, oh yeah, the world turtle. What's underneath the world turtle? You don't get it, fam. Turtles the whole way down. It's like the philosophical idea just suddenly ran out. It's just like, I don't fucking know, man. It's just more turtles, okay? If it's not one giant turtle,
You silly man, it's turtles all the way down.
So Luna appears in the mirror and she's like, hey gang, guess what? Shit's fucked up because wrath is the last element and I feel something going on with Queen Elytra summoning a lot of energy. We don't know how she's feeling that she's doing that, but whatever. And it's like, big bad juju, y'all got to go get that thing before she uses the element against it. And by the way, Acellus is like, oh yeah, by the way, I kind of took away her food source, and when she realizes that, she's going to be pissed.
Yep.
So, kind of a, not great, pissing off the queen.
But we do have good news.
Do we?
Well, Twilight Sparkle has good news. They're sending help.
My friends, I come bringing gifts and good tidings. Except Twilight Sparkle, in her classic fashion, doesn't understand the situation, rubs her dick in it, and takes charge of something that she has no wherewithal to proceed over.
Which seems to be a common thread in the show, but thank you, Kkat, for following that up.
Yeah, I know. I dig. I've never watched the show, but it just kind of seems to be a common thing that Twilight Sparkle is like,
I'm the smartest. I'm going to bumble into the situation.
She's so authoritarian.
Yeah.
She's so authoritarian.
I'm right.
If you dumb peasants just did what I told you to, then nobody'd be dead. Everyone would be happy. Luna'd be on the moon again. Oops, did I say that out loud?
I mean, that's literally the story premise that started her getting wings in that episode anyway.
I hope that is not the storyline, that this was some long play. Because, like, Luna's on the planet, right? Luna's still on the planet. But, like, if it was this dumb long play to be like, aha, I've ascended as a princess, and I must get rid of the other princesses. It's not a part of the story. But anyways. Yeah. But yeah, so Luna the whole time is like, Twilight Sparkle, what are you doing here? Suspect. Yeah. Suspect. And the fact that the problem, super sus, right? The problem is with all these changelings involved, when anybody shows up who is not supposed to be there, right? Or you're like, so what the hell's going on here? So it's like, who's doing what? Like the whole time it's implied that Luna's like, again, suspect of Twilight Sparkle. Oh, no. Your two friends so-and-so came and Sandbar and them found me. And well, actually, they were looking for this other professor. And I just happened to be there. And now I'm here. And we're sending help. and they
This is all just a fever dream of Thorax.
and then wet dream actually.
Yeah.
When Thorax shows up, who is the king of Acellus's hive.
The reimagined changelings, the reinvigorated,
the Weimar Republic.
Anyway,
and
everyone keeps saying
Acellus is like, Thorax, the hive needs you. The hive needs you. You can't go. And he's like, I'm not going.
No, I'm sending another guy. He's great.
My brother.
Oh shit.
Wait,
He doesn't have a chip on his shoulder, does he?
you mean the guy who's the head of security for the hive?
Yeah, the guy who has a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Shit.
And they're like, he should already be there now. And it's like, well, yeah, but people don't get sent where they're supposed to get sent. He's probably already with the element of wrath. And it's like, Acellus, does he have anything to be wrathful for? Oh.
He was the last changeling to change over.
Why?
know-
Why would they send him? He volunteered, which is even
Because
more suspect.
Twilight Sparkle is a bumbling fool.
She's like, I'm just going to rub my big old princess alicorn dick on this.
I just had to have to say this. Everyone asks Weimar Republic. Nobody asks how
Mar Republic. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You can tell them that it's fine, but
I
it's
know,
not okay.
I know. Everybody asks werewolf, but nobody asks why wolf. Yeah, that's so true. So anyways, so that's where we're heading in the next chapter. A pissed off, a potentially wrathful, pissed off head of security changeling, who's part royal, who has a history with Acellus. What could go wrong? Turns out he and Queen Elytra,
They're gonna do jazzercise.
put on a little Marvin Gaye,
Apparently so.
little Al Green,
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little moving and grooving.
Hold on, let me grab my calendar so we can start dating these references.
And let's just say, when changelings fuck, it really is bumping uglies. They're insects.
Yes.
Yeah, they're equine insects, but they're insects. Have any of y'all ever watched insect sex? If you haven't, I highly recommend it.
No.
Just think about our audience. I guarantee you that a good portion of our listeners
I've just looked up how ladybugs fuck.
Yeah.
Well, if you have, then congratulations.
Yeah.
Weirdos.
Degenerates. Oh God.
I feel like it's too.
Are there insect people in the furry fan culture?
I'm sure there are.
Like I can't think of any grasshopper people, right? But there's got to be
the one guy who watches A Bug's Life and just start.
Oh God. Oh. Yeah, he really likes Francis.
Yeah.
Because
Francis Daddy.
It's got that whole transvestite. I'm a man, but I project as a woman bug. That sort of thing. It's very progressive.
Yeah.
So that's the chapter.
That's the chapter.
What are your other thoughts? Right, what else strikes you in this?
They do bring up the grandfather, the grandmare clock again. In this,
slowing.
Yeah, slowing and stopping.
Mm-hmm. Tink, tonk, tonk,
tink, donk.
Silence.
Which is the French tank. The Zetonk.
Zetonk. Yeah.
Zetonk.
Yeah, they could have used a few more of those on the Maginot Line.
Probably could have used a Maginot Line on the.
What is with all of these World War I references?
The Maginot Line is. Wait, is the Maginot Line 1 or 2? Wasn't that the construct that they actually built to try to prevent the Nazi reinvasion for World War II, but they couldn't finish it in time? And it got taken over by the Nazis, and so the Nazis actually used it as a striking point, and the French were like, "Ah, shit, we actually made a fortification too well." I could be wrong.
Does it really matter?
No.
Yeah. I mean, we're Americans. None of it matters, right? You Europeans went back to your shitholes, and we're just like, we're number one. We're number one.
We're going to ride that train
That's
all
right.
the way to the station.
USA. USA.
I don't need to find Iraq on a map. I know we won World War II.
I just want to make sure that every opportunity we reinforce the ugly American stereotype. Just every like we should be like armed, gun on our hips.
You want to go out to McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and
I
dinner,
already went
in
to
our fully automatic cars.
Hell yeah, I already went to McDonald's for lunch today.
Our extraordinarily overloaded SUVs that get 5 miles per gallon.
I have to say, I tried. This is the 4th time I've tried in a month to go to Bojangles for breakfast. And I was in line for 15 minutes and I didn't even get to the ordering point. I had to leave because I had somewhere I had to be.
Jesus.
So if y'all want to know how Americans are handling the shutdown, it's that most of 90% of our fast food is terrible because there's people who are still at home, collecting them stimmies.
Yeah. So yeah, the fast food. If you want a job in the U.S. right now, and if you can get over here, fast food, because they're paying ridiculous fees.
Well, not everybody. That's why McDonald's is still not like they have fast service because they're actually paying their employees more than the other, minimum wage.
How much are they paying now? I guess it depends on the area you're in.
I think it was $12.50 or $13 or something like that, depending on what it is, which is a hell of a lot better than minimum wage.
Ridiculous.
Of course, Europeans are like, minimum wage? I just sit at home and sell art to the French government, Smoke my cigarillo and eat my chocolate croissant. Sorry, my pain chocolat.
And while having a baguette under one arm and a apple in the other, and your striped shirt and your beret that's slightly off kilter,
and completely naked, not completely naked,
naked from the striped shirt down,
naked from the waist down to accentuate your nakedness,
exactly,
and reeking of body odor. That is one thing. If you're European and you've never been to the United States, you would probably think that we all just smell like soap because everybody here, we love to bathe. We bathe.
Or smell like milk.
No, the Europeans wouldn't experience that. If you're from Asia, you'd think we smell like milk. Europeans per capita consume just as much, if not more, dairy than Americans do. At least from what I've observed. Although I think Europeans drink less milk than we do and consume more cheese. Yeah,
Wisconsin is greatly offsetting that value.
Think about how puritanical the United States is in parts of it, and that you will find heavy pockets of milk consumption.
Yeah.
Ugh. I can't. I don't.
Milk is a great ingredient for things. I can't drink it straight.
Yeah, neither can I. And once you start drinking your coffee black and really like that, it's kind of like hard to go back to other things.
Yeah.
So
you can sometimes get enough to take the acid off, but that's
right if it's a really dark roast or something. But here we are. We're very off topic. By the way, there's no pony pun of the week. That's not in this show. That's the next show,
which is coming. We don't know.
Next week. We'll do next week.
Okay, next week
we'll do it. I promise. It's me.
Yeah, you've been busy as hell.
I'm up to my nards in stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Golly Moses. But it's a blessing. It is a blessing. It is all tremendous.
Productive. Yeah, as long as it's productive, it doesn't matter how busy it is.
We've been doing a lot of work on the house as of late. So like repairing some wood rot and putting on gutters and putting in new flooring, and it's just all this stuff, and it's constant. So
we're trying.
If you enjoy the content that we make here, remember that if you're watching us on YouTube, please do remember that we have a Libsyn, and you can download the audio version as a podcast. Of course, if you're listening to this at home, check out our YouTube. We got a lot of other things on there. I know it may seem like we haven't posted a lot lately because we haven't, but there are a lot of concurrent series that as things lighten up through July, we will be doing a lot more. Just keep your eyes peeled. I know people feel like we've been saying that forever. At some point, the Miata will get finished, and at some point, we'll share that process.
Yeah.
So it will get there. Also, remember that you can always email us at cbpbch@gmail.com. Again, that is cbpbch@gmail.com. You may also, and I highly recommend it, if you enjoy our content and you enjoy watching and listening to these episodes, check out the link in the description to our Discord, because there is a hell of a lot of conversation that goes on in there all the time. If you enjoy the Discord, furthermore, you can also support us on Patreon. That's all I'm going to say about that. We have a tremendous amount of wonderful supporters who help us pay for the server costs, pay for the editing costs, and eventually upgrading some of our equipment, which we've already been able to do a little bit of, which has been fantastic.
If you saw the ceiling, if you see the sound tiles that are actually hanging above us, you'd probably laugh. They look ridiculous.
Yeah, well, we're working on that too, but we have a wonderful new light that we're able to use, and
it's bright.
Yep, and we were able to have a studio that we were able to paint the wall and everything. So it is a tremendous blessing. We are so grateful for that. Is there anything else, Chris, that you would like to share? I suppose we should say a thanks to Kkat.
Yeah, thank you, Kkat.
Thank you, Kkat. Yes, thank you. Is there any last nugget of wisdom? Any last, from all of your years on this beautiful ball, this marble called Earth, your experiences, is there any bit of your experience that you can share with them, the listeners?
No such thing as a free lunch.
Straight from the horse's mouth. So,
Nay.
for Chris, I'm Robert. This has been the Folly of Man Prey, and we will see y'all next time on the Folly of Man Project Horizons.
It's all over, but the cry.
Da, 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 da.
I don't want my jubblies bouncing around. It hurts. You don't understand.
Unfortunately, it's all bone.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
I feel like that's going to be a Resident Evil character at some point. Like some...
Mr. Allbones?
Well, I was thinking more of a woman, like, you know, Lady Dimitrescu, but it's like, it's just all bone underneath there.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense from an armoring standpoint.
It also makes sense for me. It's a zombie creature standpoint, or whatever they're doing with Resident Evil nowadays. What are they doing with Resident Evil nowadays?
There's like T-virus, but there's also like this mold that they call the lichen, you know, like lichen, like moss.
So,
but they're also lichen, like lycanthropy, like werewolves and there's a lot of it's like it's kind of
the
like,
people have taken a liking to the dogs.
Yeah, it's like Japanese Christmas. You know how the Japanese like they love Christmas, but it's like Santa Claus on a cross, and you're like,
White Day.
Yeah.
White Day.
You've missed
where it's Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
but it's also really not Valentine's Day.
Right. Well, they've got two Valentine's Day. One that's for men and one that's for women.
Well, I know which one is White Day.
I think that's the one for men. I'm not a Japanese major. That would be a question for my wife. And I'm
better than being a
sure
Japanese minor.
I am sure a higher class weeb than myself will correct us in the comments.
Oh, I can hear the
But
nasally response from here.
Actually, gomenasai, but
Oh, gomenasai.
you know what's funny though is that for anybody to hear this, they've actually got to listen to the entire episode to get to the, because undoubtedly this is going to be cut and put as the little extra at the end.
Maybe you'll never see it.
Unless you mixed in like a bunch of like really offensive ethnic slurs or you know expletives or that kind of thing, then it would never make it.
I can't help but laugh at
I gotta make sure my framing here is good. Oh, please stop. Stop. Why? Every episode. What you eating? Nanners.
Yeah, I make sound effects for animated porn in my spare time.
You overdub like Korean animated manga. And it's not even actually animated. It's like Reading Rainbow.
I remember that as a post somewhere where somebody was saying my roommate got some yogurt out of the fridge and was stirring it, and I had this immediate moment of panic that my phone was still playing.
What's like the meme that's like Pornhub, would you like to cast this to your screen? No, I fucking wouldn't.
You just go to a hotel. Oh, baby. Somebody's about to have a good time.